Val Kilmer is an American actor. Originally a stage actor, he found fame after appearances in comedy films, starting with Top Secret, 1984, and Real Genius, 1985, as well as the military action film Top Gun, 1986, and the fantasy film Willow. Kilmer gained acclaim for his portrayal of Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors, 1991. He was cast as a main character in critically acclaimed films such as the Western Tombstone, and the crime dramas True Romance and Heat. He portrayed Batman in Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever and continued to star in films such as The Ghost and the Darkness, 1996, The Saint, 1997, The Prince of Egypt, Alexander, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and The Snowman. In 2022, Kilmer reprised his role as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick. Since 2015, Kilmer has privately struggled with throat cancer. He had a procedure on his trachea that damaged his vocal cords to the point where he had extreme difficulty speaking. He also underwent chemotherapy and 2 tracheotomies. In 2020, he published his memoir, titled I'm Your Huckleberry, a memoir. His struggle was captured in the 2021 documentary titled Val, which documented his career and health issues. The film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival to critical acclaim. He was one of the best-paid actors of the 1990s. Films featuring him have grossed over $3.5 billion at the worldwide box office. According to critic Roger Ebert, if there is an award for the most unsung leading man of his generation, Kilmer should get it. Kilmer was born December 31, 1959, in Los Angeles, California, the second of 3 sons to Gladys Swanette and Eugene Doris Kilmer. His mother was of Swedish descent. His other ancestry includes Irish, German, and Cherokee roots. His parents divorced in 1968 when he was 8 years old. His mother later married William Bernard Leach in 1970. Kilmer's grandfather was a gold miner in New Mexico, near the border with Arizona. In 1977, Kilmer's younger brother Wesley, who had epilepsy, drowned in a jacuzzi at age 15. He attended Chatsworth High School with Kevin Spacey. His high school girlfriend was Mare Winningham. He became the youngest person at the time to be accepted into the Juilliard School's drama division, where he was a member of Group 10. Kilmer turned down a role in Francis Ford Coppola's 1983 film The Outsiders, as he had prior theater commitments. In 1983, he appeared off-Broadway in The Slab Boys with Kevin Bacon, Sean Penn, and Jackie Earle Haley. That same year, his first offstage acting role came in the form of an episode of ABC after-school special called One Too Many, which was an educational drama on drinking and driving. It also starred a young Michelle Pfeiffer. Also in 1983, Kilmer self-published a collection of his own poetry entitled My Edens After Burns, that included poems inspired by his time with Pfeiffer. The book of poems is difficult to obtain and expensive. Known second-hand copies cost $300 and up. His big break came when he received top billing in the comedy spoof of spy movies Top Secret, in which he played an American rock and roll star. Kilmer sang all the songs in the film and released an album under the film character's name, Nick Rivers. While garnering more substantial roles and prestige, he also gained a reputation for his charisma and promiscuity, dating numerous women. During a brief hiatus, he backpacked throughout Europe before going on to play the lead character in the 1985 comedy Real Genius. He turned down a role in David Lynch's Blue Velvet before being cast as naval aviator Iceman in the action film Top Gun alongside Tom Cruise. Top Gun grossed a total of over $344 million worldwide and made Kilmer a major star. Following roles in the television films The Murders in the Rue Morgue and The Man Who Broke 1,000 Chains, Kilmer played Mad Mardigan in the fantasy Willow. He met his future wife, co-star Joanne Whalley, on the film's set. Kilmer starred in the Colorado Shakespeare Festival production of Hamlet in 1988. In 1989, Kilmer played the lead in both Kill Me Again opposite Whalley, and in TNT's Billy the Kid. After several delays, director Oliver Stone finally started production on the film The Doors, based on the story of the band of the same name. Kilmer spoke with Oliver Stone early on, concerned about what he might want to do with the story because Kilmer did not believe in or want to promote substance abuse. Kilmer saw Jim Morrison as having picked the wrong heroes, who had different issues, which were not part of the creativity or inspiration. Kilmer saw Morrison's story as one that could be told 1,000 different ways, and did not want to tell it by playing the role in the style of drugs, with which Oliver Stone agreed. Kilmer memorized the lyrics to all of lead singer Morrison's songs prior to his audition, and sent a video of himself performing some Doors songs to director Stone. Stone was not impressed with the tape, but Paul A., the original producer of The Doors, said I was shaken by it and suggested they record Kilmer in the studio. After Kilmer was cast as Morrison, he prepared for the role by attending Doors tribute concerts and reading Morrison's poetry. He spent close to a year before production dressing in Morrison-like clothes, and spent time at Morrison's old hangouts along the Sunset Strip. His portrayal of Morrison was praised, and members of the Doors noted that Kilmer did such a convincing job that they had trouble distinguishing his voice from Morrison's. Paul Rothschild played Kilmer's version of the end for the band's guitarist, Robbie Krieger, who told him, "I'm really glad they got the end. We never got a recording of that live with Jim, and now we've got it." However, Doors keyboardist Ray Manzarek was less than enthusiastic with how Morrison was portrayed in Stone's interpretation. In the early 1990s, Kilmer starred in the mystery thriller Thunderheart, the action comedy The Real McCoy, and again teamed with Top Gun director Tony Scott to play Elvis Presley in True Romance, which was written by Quentin Tarantino. In 1993, Kilmer played Doc Holliday in the Western Tombstone alongside Kurt Russell. In the film, Doc Holliday performs Chopin's Nocturne in E minor, Opus 72, No. 1. However, Kilmer does not play the piano, and he practiced that one piece for months in preparation. In 1995, Kilmer starred in Wings of Courage, a 3D IMAX film, and that same year, he starred opposite Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in Heat, which is now considered one of the best crime/drama films of the 1990s. In December 1993, Batman Forever director Joel Schumacher had seen Tombstone and was most impressed with Kilmer's performance as Doc Holliday. Schumacher felt him to be perfect for the role of Batman, though at the time, the role was still Michael Keaton's. In July 1994, Keaton decided not to return for a third Batman film after 1992's Batman Returns, due to creative differences. William Baldwin, who previously worked with Schumacher on Flatliners, was reported to be a top contender, though just days after Keaton dropped out, Kilmer was cast. Kilmer took the role without even knowing who the new director was and without reading the script. Released in June 1995, Batman Forever was a success at the box office, despite receiving mixed reviews from critics. There was debate about Kilmer's performance. Some critics, like the New York Times' Janet Maslin, thought Kilmer was a poor successor to Keaton in the part, while others, such as Roger Ebert, had kind words for Kilmer. Batman co-creator Bob Kane said in a Cinescape interview that of all the actors to have played Batman up to that point, he felt Kilmer had given the best interpretation. Film critic Leonard Maltin, who criticized the dark tone contained in Batman Returns, complimented Kilmer's portrayal when he reviewed the film for his expanding collection of film reviews. Defenders of Batman Forever praised the film for portraying Batman as a more heroic, less ruthless, and more human character than in the Tim Burton films. The film also brought the film interpretation of Bruce Wayne more into line with his comic book counterpart, showing him as a socialite and a very public figure rather than the neurotic recluse of the previous films. In February 1996, Kilmer decided not to return for another Batman feature film, feeling that Batman was being marginalized in favor of the villains and because of scheduling problems with The Saint. George Clooney replaced Kilmer as Batman in 1997's Batman and Robin. There were also reports that Kilmer had not had a good working relationship with Schumacher, as another reason for not reprising the role. Well, there's a heartbreaking tragedy behind his dark side: the death of his teen brother, Wesley. According to the LA coroner's report, Val's younger brother, Wesley, had a history of seizures before he was diagnosed with epilepsy at age 15. Well guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us. Thanks for watching.